of the Aavishkar Group and Circulate Capital, an investment management firm dedicated to financing companies that prevent ocean plastic and advance the circular economy, have invested $18 million in Series C funding into Nepra Resource Management, a leading dry waste management company. Now, existing investor Aavishkar Capital has taken a partial exit from its earlier fund that it first invested in 2013 as a part of this round. Operating under the brand name Let's Recycle, Nepra has a unique model that focuses on dry waste recovery and recycling. To know more about this and the road ahead, joining me now are Sandeep Patel, co-founder and CEO Nepra, Anurag Agarwal, CEO Aavishkar Group and partner Aavishkar Capital, and Rob Kaplan, founder and CEO Circulate Capital. Gentlemen, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today. Sandeep, let me start with you. I believe you plan to use the fresh funds to expand capacity and for geographic expansion. Take me through the specific. Which cities are you looking to expand to, and what new innovations are you looking at to manage dry waste across the country?
Thanks, Ugda. So, we are looking to expand to at least 3 cities with this capital, and we have Bombay as one of the key markets we are looking at. There are other cities in pipeline like Bhopal, and we would want to keep those options yet, trying to figure out what is the best city to really go in. But we have at least 2 cities we have narrowed down to, and we have Patna and other locations also across country we are looking at. We have a lot of interest coming in from other cities because of our Indore and Ahmedabad model being showcased everywhere. And with innovations, as a company, we have always focused on innovating constantly and improving our business model. So I think, you will see in coming times about what new innovations will come out with for automation and sorting and technology for collection as well.
All right, we'll surely be waiting for that. Sandeep, Anurag, coming to you now. Aavishkar Capital made its first investment in Nepra in 2013 and has also regularly invested in all their rounds. But this time you've taken a partial exit. Why, and what is the kind of return you've got?
Yeah, so Aavishkar has invested in Nepra from 2 different funds. The first investment in 2013 happened from a fund which is a 2011 vintage fund. And given the nature of the fund business, the fund being in its 9th year of operation out of 10-year life cycle of the fund, it is important for us to also demonstrate that these investments can also generate a return and create exit is possible through these investments. So we have taken a partial exit from the first tranche of the first fund's investment. And what we have done is in this round got the total capital that was invested by the first fund. That capital is brought back. The original fund still continues to hold a significant stake in Nepra. But from the new fund, we've also further invested in the company as well. And the amount of investment from the new fund is actually higher than the amount of exit that we've taken. So we are still very, very bullish about Nepra and intend to continue investing in it.
All right, okay.
And in terms of your question was on the return, we've made a fairly healthy return. The first investment is roughly at about 7 times of its invested value, the exit that we've got. So it's been a fairly successful exit for us.
Yes, so congratulations on the 7x return. But Rob, coming to you now, waste sector has typically not seen much private capital investment in India. How do you view the space, and what made you bet big on Nepra?
Well, India is at a transformational point in its recycling and waste management journey. The challenges have been clear. We have too much fragmentation, and as you noted, not enough access to capital in the sector. We've been really excited to partner with Nepra and Aavishkar as one of the key investors who've been active in the space. But we made a big bet on Nepra for 2 or 3 key reasons. First is scale. Sandeep wants to take this company to 25 cities in the next 5 years. He's using technology to bring traceability and transparency, and it's people-centric. It's not just about the environment, it's about creating economic opportunity across India.
Okay, Sandeep, you want to take Nepra to 25 cities in the next 5 years. And you obviously know that waste issue in India is significant, with 62 million metric tons of municipal waste generated annually. And though India collects about 90% of the waste generated, 80% of this goes into open landfills for the environment. Sandeep, take me through Nepra's zero waste to landfill model. How are you diverting recyclable waste away from landfills and then delivering it to recyclers?
So Mukta, we use technology at two ends. One is at collection side of operations and other is at the infrastructure segregation level.
Okay.
So we focus on collecting waste at source, ensuring that maximum is recovered and does not get into landfill. We bring it to a facility and we process it and try to recover the maximum recyclable content from it. And we ensure that it goes for recycling. And the balance which is not recyclable because of economic reasons, because of the cost of segregation oversees the recovery, we send it to cement kilns or for energy recovery, ensuring it becomes zero waste to landfill. So all our operations are focused purely on ensuring that we are a zero waste to landfill company. And I'm happy that we have been zero waste to landfill company since last 4 years.
Okay. Okay, Sandeep, now take me through your revenue model. You work closely with municipalities to organize dry waste collection. How does NEPRA de-risk its model compared to your peers and your competition on municipal corporations or government bodies for revenue?
So, I've been fortunate that, I started this business model independent of the municipal corporations. But with the Swachh Bharat movement and the waste management, really thriving in India because of the segregation of waste being mandatory.
Sure.
Wherever people start segregating waste at scale, it's important to segregate and process also the waste at scale. And that's where we focused ahead of time, building on infrastructure and ensuring that we are positioned in the place to really recover maximum recyclables and support the municipal corporations in a way. So, we have de-risked our model by not depending on the municipal corporation for the revenues as such, but definitely depending on city to city, we have a different model and financial model. So it will look pretty different city to city. But yes, we are independent of municipal corporation in one way. But because the policy and the need of the hour is, it has to be working in hand to hand with all the stakeholders, either it's the waste generator, processor, or the municipal corporations.
Okay. Okay, so you've combined a people-centric approach with technology-driven processes, a very interesting business model, and we'll come to that later. But moving to another unique model, Rob, coming to you, Circulate Capital invests in firms improving waste management and advancing the circular economy. What investment opportunity do you see in India?
We see tremendous opportunity, driven a lot by some of the environmental factors that Sandeep mentioned around Swachh Bharat, the regulatory environment, and there's been not enough capital coming into the sector. So we've seen tremendous underinvestment in the companies that we're looking at. And by bringing catalytic capital in, we think that we can help create economic opportunities that are needed more than ever. Coming out of the global pandemic, and turn plastic pollution from a scourge into a resource for job creation and a thriving circular economy across India.
Okay. Rob, have you made any other investment into the Indian market? Are you even eyeing more Indian companies?
Yeah, NEPRA is our second investment that we've announced so far in India. Our first was in a company called Lucro Plasticycle outside of Mumbai that recycles difficult to manage flexible plastics. But we're very active in India and invite you to stay tuned because we've got a lot more to come.
All right. Rob, one more question to you. Your investors are leading global corporations, including, PepsiCo, P&G, Unilever, Coca-Cola, and others. How does it impact your investment strategy and your relationship with your portfolio companies?
We partner with our corporate investors to scale leading companies like NEPRA and Lucro. We believe very strongly that these are companies that can be part of the solution, not just part of the problem. And we leverage their expertise, not just to source and diligence and even support or buy the material that companies like NEPRA are recycling, but it's really about connecting to global supply chains. That's where we start to see true scale in the waste and recycling industry.
All right. Okay. Anurag, coming to you now. Aavishkar provides funding support to companies scaling up businesses for social and environmental impact. I believe the venture has a total fund size of 800 crore rupees. Give us a sense of the future roadmap, the sectors you'll be looking at and investing in, and what the ticket sizes will be.
Yeah, so Aavishkar as a platform is, is one of the pioneers in impact investing space. We've started doing this about 20 years ago. The current fund from which we've invested is a 800 crore fund, but actually Aavishkar manages close to 3,000 crores of assets and has about 70 odd investments across multiple sectors. The three core sectors for us are financial inclusion, where we have a large number of investments. We've seeded actually many of the small finance banks that have been created over the last 10 years or so. We have another large focus on agri and livelihoods sector.
Okay.
And again, we have a fairly large portfolio there, and again, doing quite well commercially as well as creating a lot of jobs and livelihoods on the ground. And the third core sector is what we call essential services. And, NEPRA classifies as one of the investments within that sector.
Okay.
Here, it's a wide variety of sectors, including waste, water, sanitation, healthcare, access to clean energy. So
Okay.
it's a varied set of sectors. But across all these three sectors, we have made about 70 odd investments. And not only made investments, we've also made full and partial exits for about 34 such companies.
Sure.
And actually generated a fairly healthy financial return on these investments. So not only do they create large impact on the ground, but are also creating financial returns for the investors. So this is extremely important because this also helps to get more capital allocation on these sectors. And grow these businesses.
So 3 focus areas for Aavishkar: financial services, agri-based services, and then, of course, essential services. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you, Rob. And thank you, Sandeep, for joining us today on Startup Street. It was a pleasure speaking to all of you. Time for us to take a quick break. But on the other side, we speak to a SaaS-based people's analytics startup, Infido, about its